Hello guys, this is from Mrs. Abby. In today's video, I want to share with you how I take care of my waffle plants. There are several different varieties of waffle plants. I own two of them. I own the Purple Waffle Plant and I own this one here, which is called the Snow White Waffle Plant. I'm not going to be showing you how I take care of the purple waffle plant because it is similar to how I take care of the Snow White waffle plant. So before I go into the instructions as to how to take care of the waffle plants, will you please do me a favor and subscribe and hit the notification bell and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So back to taking care of this beauty right here. I love this plant. You might experience some issue with the leaves. One thing about the waffle plants is they can get crispy leaves. This one here has a few crispy leaves, and that is because I allowed it to get too dry once upon a time, and the leaves developed some forms of crispiness. Well, this plant is going to be okay because I'm going to water it the proper way. And so what's going to happen, these leaves here will eventually die out and they will shed, and then more leaves will come, and I don't want to allow those leaves to ever get crispy again. So this is a beautiful plant. Okay, let's get into the care instructions. This is a very easy to take care of plant, just to let you know that it's not going to be hard to take care of if you decide that you want to buy one or if you own one. The toxicity level, I was told it is non-toxic. That's a good thing. The light requirement, although the waffle plants can tolerate medium and possibly some little low light, it will thrive better in a room that gets indirect bright sunlight. You want to place it away from a window that gets a lot of sunlight. What I do is I place mine closer to windows that has filtered lights. Like I either put a sheer curtain up or I just adjust the blinds or close the blinds so it get that filtered sunlight. Otherwise, the leaves will get crispy on these too, just as if you didn't water it. Also, if you place it close to a sunny window, it's going to dry it out fast and you're going to have leaf issues. And you don't want to have leaf issues such as the crispy leaves or the leaves turning brown. As far as pests are concerned, I've never had any problems with the waffle plant. From my research, I was told that it can develop white flies on the leaves and scales. The humidity requirement for the waffle plant is quite simple. It loves humidity. I don't have a lot of humidity in the room that it stays in. Maybe that's why some of the leaves are getting crispy. But I am going to add some humidity in that area to help out with these crispy leaves. The temperature requirement. The inside temperature that I have in my home all year long is between 65 and 75 degrees. This plant does real well in that type of temperature. Now, since it can go outside, it can tolerate higher temperature. And it can also probably tolerate a little lower temperature than 65, but I wouldn't let the plant stay in any location, whether inside or outside, at a temperature below 60 degrees. The other thing that you may be concerned about as far as taking care of the waffle plant, and that is whether to fertilize this plant here. For you guys that have been following me a long time know that I don't fertilize my plants. What I do, instead of fertilizing them, I refresh the soil. I take soil from the top and then I replace the soil that I remove from the top of the plant, not all the soil, just some of the soil, and I replace it with some brand new fresh soil that already contains the fertilizer. And then I water it, and all the nutrients from that plant will get to the root. And that's what I do. I keep all of my plants refreshed with new topsoil so it can continue to get the proper nutrients that it needs from the fresh soil. The problem with fertilizing, especially the waffle plant, is that you can over fertilize it. So I would rather not fertilize this plant. But if you desire and you know how to fertilize, and you know that you're not going to be over fertilizing the waffle plant, go ahead and do it. But I don't fertilize it. Last but not least, I'm going to be sharing with you how to water this plant and the water requirement. The water requirements for this plant is it loves to be moist, not soaky wet. If it stays soaky wet, the roots are going to get rotted, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that the soil is somewhat wet, not soggy wet at all times. That will keep the leaves from being crispy. And that's what I try to do to keep it where it is a little wet. Now I'm going to be showing you in a little while exactly how I water this plant. This plant hasn't had any problem from the tap water. Now if you want to use some other type of water like distilled water, bottled water, whatever, you can. But just regular tap water is all I use. Now I'm going to show you how I water it. Okay, I like to take some of my plants to the sink to water them. Now, I like to water, to bottom water this particular plant right here. I like to bottom water it. Let me show you how I do that. To bottom water. Turn the water on. Add some water to the water is too cold. Turn a little bit of warm water on. You don't want to put cold water on your plants because it might shock the roots of the plant and cause some issues with your plant. So make sure that the water is room temperature. Okay. So I'm just going to put it right here and pour the water over into it. You don't have to be at the sink to do this. So I'm going to let it sit there until it absorbs the water. If the water stays in the saucer, just let it continue to sit. As you notice here, the water is receding, so you want to add some more water like this. That's what you want to do. Continue to add the water to the bottom of the plant or in the saucer. Once you notice that the water is not receding, then just let it sit there for about 5 or 6 minutes. Let those roots absorb the water a lot, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You want to drain it. You want to make sure that you drain it very properly. So it's simple to water from the bottom. It also prevents like fungus gnats and a lot of other problems that you might will have. You just don't want it to sit in the water too long. You want to watch the amount of water that's in the saucer. Here again, I'm going to add some more water to the saucer. See, each time that I add water, this plant is absorbing it. So let it stay for a while, and then I'm going to show you how I drain it. That little ticking noise you were hearing, that is the water from the faucet right there. So, yeah. The water is still receding. As long as the water is receding, you know that it is drinking water and is still in need of water. There's one more thing I forgot to tell you, how to test the soil. Before you start watering, you want to test the soil to see whether it needs to be watered. And another thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you are keeping the soil clean from any of the debris like this right here. You want to take that out and make sure that it is clean at all times. You don't want to leave anything in there. I do maintenance on this plant just like I do the Rex begonias. Let's take a look at the water level now. Okay, it has gone down again. I need to add some more water. Let's go over here. Add it. Okay. Add some more water. And I keep doing that because I want it to get the proper amount of water. So it's been about maybe 10 minutes, and I think that it has enough water, and so I'm going to, I think that it has soaked enough water so I can take it out of the water. So I'm just going to let it drain. I'm going to take this and pour this out right here. Since it's in the sink, I'm just going to let it drain like this. It has a saucer under it because I allow it to hang. It is on a hanging hook. And I usually don't like for the saucers to stay attached to the pot because it's harder for the water to drain. But in this case, I'm going to keep it on because I'm going to hang it back up in my plant room. So as long as it's dripping and it's still draining, I'll let it sit down a little while longer, let it drain some more, and then I will pour the drain water off some more. Now you don't want this plant to be soggy wet. You only want it to be wet. So I'm going to pour some more water off. See, I'm just tilting it. See how I got it tilted? Right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna let it drain some more. Sit it back up. And then, you can go and do whatever you need to do and come back in about a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. And then you want to drain it some more. We just want to let the water continue to drain from the bottom. And now, I myself, with all my plants, I do this. I'll allow all my plants to drain very well. I don't like water to sit in the bottom of the pot because I don't want my plants to get root rot. I also don't want them to have brown tips and all the other things that water sitting in the bottom of the pot can cause. So again, I'm going to drain some more. Notice, as long as you let it sit there, and you need to do this until you don't see any more water coming from that saucer. So it may take a while, but it is worth it. Your plants are going to love you for it. So you just continue to do it. So you notice there's still some. But guys, as it set there to drain some more, I just want to say the waffle plant, it is a beautiful plant. And I have to take care of the crispy leaves. And by me doing this and watering it maybe every 3 or 4 days for a while. And the only reason I water it every 3 or 4 days is because of the room that it is located in. It is located in my plant room that gets a lot of bright light. And so the plants in that room dries out very fast. I'm going to let it drain some more. It's getting very good. We don't really have any water coming from it. I'm going to try it one more time for another minute to see whether I'm going to have any more water coming from it. If not, I will be through taking care of this plant until the next time that it needs to be watered. Okay, my last time doing it, I think. Well, it's not a whole lot, but I might do it a few more times just to ensure that it has no more water coming from the saucer because I don't want it to get root rot. Thank you guys very much for watching, and the plant is looking good. I love it, and I'm going to go and hang it back in its location, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.